The difficulty is 0. I can just enjoy the clowns smiling about. Yeah, right. We shall see about that. You just contradicted yourself. Like, tragic struggle at the end. Okay. You know what? Additional choices from console version. Skip additional choices. Show only content from PC version. Prompt justice and highlight correct answers. Have I got have I gotten this like at the beginning of the other chapters? I know I had to choose something. Alright, well, you know what? Middle of the road, let's go. By the 7th time you'll be laughing at it, and by the 100th time you feel nothing. The chorus of the Higurashi had replaced that of the cicadas. Their cries came from a distance, echoed loudly, and then faded away. They sounded so weak and fragile. Rena's voice was just like the cries of the Higurashi. She'd say something, but the words would quickly fade away. She sounded so fragile that it made me worry she might vanish into thin air along with her words. But nobody is pressuring her to continue. Neon dusted off the hood of an abandoned car and sat down on it as if to show how relaxed she was. She actually did look very relaxed, as if she came here to enjoy the cool breeze of the evening or something. Satoko followed Mion's example and sat down as well. She didn't look nearly as relaxed, however. I thought about following suit, but it felt rude to look away from Rena even for the short time it would take to look for a place to sit down. So I decided to remain standing. Rika-chan didn't sit down either, but she wasn't looking at Rena. Everybody else was looking at Rena, but Rika-chan was looking at the red sky. Rika-chan's expression was hard to describe. She looked pale and blank at the same time, as if all of her emotions were gone. Rena wore the same kind of expression. She kept trying to say something, but it seemed like the words were stuck in her throat. She noticed Rika-chan was looking at the sky, so she decided to look that way as well. Yeah, like Rena would be like Rena would say this to Rika. Yeah, it sucks having this curse. Like seeing things that normal humans wouldn't. If I am to assume that maybe Rena has the same kind of powers as Rika, where she's able to see like multiple timelines and she only sees like bleak future, like Rika. I imagine. Mion did the same. So did I. Satoko looked that way too. And with that, there was silence. Okay, well, I guess it's just us looking at the red sky. It was like we were in a concert hall, filled with the chorus of the Higurashi. A concert hall with the highest roof in the world. A refreshingly cool breeze tickled our sweaty bodies. I could almost make myself believe we came here to enjoy the breeze and the sunset. And I could only wish that was what we came here for. The shadows of the birds flying across the sky soured the feeling of our quiet concert. What are you kids doing? Hiding a body? They reminded us that time had stopped. Nobody wanted to pressure Rena. We didn't want time to pressure her either. We wanted to keep the cool red sky as long as we could, so Rena could calm down and talk. Okay, well, definitely, something definitely happened here. We're just not sure what. Right then, I heard a sound, and it brought us all back to reality. The hood Mion was sitting on had made a noise when she moved across her legs. I don't know whether Mion made the noise on purpose or not, but it reminded us that time had been passing by. Oh, the thoughts that must be crossing through these kids' minds. I can't even imagine. The noise took our attention away from the sky and back to the ground. Such a tasteless noise seemed to have urged Rena to speak. Rena heaved a small sigh, nodded as if she understood something, and looked at us like she always did.
話す前に、一個だけ言いたいことがあるの。
She was probably saying it to everybody, but since I'm standing in the middle, without looking at me, I nodded to her to represent our agreement.
レナは正しい努力をしたと思ってる。
Her voice wasn't hoarse anymore. She sounded just like she always did.
人って幸せになるためにどれだけの努力が許されるのかな。
I wonder how much indeed. How long this is gonna last. Cause I'm having a beef with Ryukishi once again. How long are we gonna be struggling through this? Also, like Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Let me just lower this a little bit. I had the exact same setting as the last one, and yet the voices are so loud. It sounded like a question, but nobody answered.
だからね、私みーちゃんの部活って好きなの。ほら、優勝のためには何でもしようって考え方、そういうのって素敵だと思う。だって世の中が綺麗事で縛られてて、やっていい努力がわずかだけに決められていたら、幸せじゃない人たちはますます幸せを勝ち取れなくなっちゃうじゃない？不幸ってね、連鎖するものだと思うの。一度続き始めるとなかなか抜け出せない。そこから抜け出すには運とか人の助けとか、そういう他力本願なものだけじゃ到底足りない。自分でももっともっと努力しないといけないと思うの。それも本当に精一杯。そこまでしてやっとつかめるのが幸せってものじゃないかなって。
Rena stopped talking, looked up, heaved a sigh, and opened her mouth again.
でもだからってみんなにもそれを受け入れてもらおうなんて甘えるつもりもないかな。だって本当に汚らしいもの。みんなだってついさっき呆然としたでしょ。それはつまりそういうことだよね。
I never seen her smile so self-derisively like this. And that smile looked unbelievably painful. I could really feel how huge the distance between us was. There's nothing physically there, but I felt as if she's talking to us through iron bars or a chain-link fence. That's how great the distance between us was.
でもそれでもいいよ。仕方ないもんね。そういう風にできてる世の中だもん。多分私が逆の立場でいられたなら同じように唖然として無責任で無慈悲な同情を浮かべていたに違いないもの。
She probably said that to hit back at us. We're just putting on a mask of sympathy, enjoying the spectacle of a little clown on a stage. That's why she said that. She probably expected us to say something in return, but none of us knew what to say. Rena looked disappointed for a moment, then turned and clambered on top of an abandoned car. Then she spread her arms out and gave a little twirl, letting her skirt billow up before she grabbed both hands and gave us a graceful curtsy.
じゃあ始めるよ。竜宮レナの一世一代の頑張り物語を。
Alright. A new chapter that is going to be focused on Rena this time. I'm I am ready to go. One more turn. There was no curtain or spotlight. She was atop an abandoned car amidst the trash piles. A stage specially made for her. We tried not to miss a word of what she was about to say. We believed that was the least we could do to not hurt her feelings. Alrighty then. Let's see how we ended up in this position for Rena to say this to us. Let's say it's a winter month, like December right now. What would you do if, all of a sudden, you had a week of hot and humid days with crying cicadas? Like that would be sucky. Would you still wear your coat and scarf? Absolutely not, right? Even though it's still June. It's already summer to us, since we've been having hot days for so long. So, it's totally okay to do this kind of club activity in June. What club activity? At my school, everybody usually does what they want in PE class, but today would be an exception. All my classmates were gathered in the schoolyard. Okay. Mion looked over everybody gathered there, then spoke up loudly. Ah! Jesus Christ! Oh! What the fuck was that? Okay, you know what? I think I'm starting to realize what is happening here with sounds. There you go. 30%. I decided to lower the volume, except now it's on my system. I actually forgot about that, because I think that's how I had it with the other game as well. So let's see. They all raised the water guns in their hands. It's okay to use water guns in June, because it's being so hot and humid. Oh boy, why is it that every single time I begin a chapter I have to toy with the sounds like so much? Like, it feels like such a pain like every single time. All my classmates were joining in, so it's gonna be a big water gun battle. I'm so excited. Okay, there you go. Like, now it's much better on my ear. Like, what the fuck? Alright, well there you go. Let's have some fun. Just like good old times. What you kids are doing right now? So babies. My god.
ま、そういうこったな。およそ勝負と名の付く以上、俺たち部活メンバーは常にリスクを背負ってるからな。
まあそういうこと。部活メンバー諸君は部活に負けたりしちゃうと大変なペナルティが待ってるからね。せいぜいしっかり戦うこと。
Alright, well, what's it gonna be?
よしよし、森生徒諸君、武器点検は十分か。
Wait, so are we using like I guess I wasn't paying attention. Are we using like water guns? Okay. It's okay to use water guns in June because it's been so hot and humid. Alright. Water gun fight. That's nice. That's lovely.
弾倉は満タンか。
任せてくださいよ、前原さん。
Hey, Tomita.
銃撃戦は僕たちの最も得意とするところですからね。
富田たちはよく水鉄砲で遊んでますから、かなり強敵かもなのですよ。
Alright.
今日の僕たちは少し違います。
Tomita-kun and Okumo-kun smiled confidently, holding their guns in a practiced manner. Their skills must give them confidence. They even look different.
ミオンは言うに及ばず、サトコもリカちゃんもかなり強敵になりそうだぜ。 レナはどうだ？ちょこまか動いていの一番にやられないように頑張れよ。そういえば最近のレナは罰ゲーム常連だな。
はあ、最近不得意なゲームが多かったから。でもケイチ君も最近私と同じで罰ゲームが多いと思うかな
かな
罰ゲームの格好のまま帰宅してさあ脱ごうとしたところでお袋に見つかった俺の哀愁などわかるものか。
You have to go home wearing a bra? Bra? Oh, I guess it's because of punishment. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
むがー。
私だって先週のはひどいよ。普通の女の子ならお嫁に行けなくなっちゃうよ。
Run for marriage? What did you do? Satoko laughed at us loudly, while we were shuddering at the memory of the cruel punishments we suffered in the past. Maybe.
覇気や運気にも偏りというのがございましてよ。その意味から言えば、ここしばらくのレナさんやケイチさんはいわゆる負け組というやつでございますわね。
確かに負け癖ってやつはあるね。闘志ってやつは負けが続くとくじけてくる。絶対勝てるという信念が砕けると全く同じことをやっても裏目裏目に出るもんだからね。
Fighting spirit fades away. Nothing goes right even if you're doing the same thing as everyone else. Story of my life with these chapters, always ending in the same way.
てめえら、たまたま俺とレナがちょいと罰ゲームを哀れに思って引き受けてやってたのを感謝もせずにその言い草か。
Yeah. Them's fighting words. How dare you stab me in the heart, like, and twist it after all that I went through. Come over here. I'm gonna shoot all my, water gun on both of you.
あら、そうでしたの？それは感謝の気持ちが足りず申し訳ないことでございましたよ。
うわー！サトコてめえ！そのセリフは俺の怒りに火をつけたぜ。後悔させてやる。
その意気だよケイちゃん。まあせいぜいあがいておじさんを楽しませてちょうだいよね。レンナも頑張って。あうあう言ってる間にクラスで一番最初に脱落したらさすがに恥ずかしいからね。でもその可能性も高いかな。
一番最初に脱落するのがレナさんだと思いましてよ。どんな目に遭うか今からお覚悟なさいませな。ひどいよ。みーちゃんもさとこちゃんも。レナもケイイチもファイトおーですよ。
Fight the hole. Mia and Satoko laughed at us loud as they could, and then moved on to tease their next target. Left alone, all I could do was stomp on the floor in anger.
くっそー、絶対負けねえ。あそこまで言われたら負けられねえぜ。
そうだね。あそこまで言われると悔しいよね。
っていうか悔しいどころじゃねえぞ。プライドの問題だぞ。くさ。
みーちゃんの言うように負け癖ってやっぱりあるかもしれないよね。だから今日は絶対に勝ってみんなを見返してやろう。
Rena's eyes look different. She's usually a funny and weird person, and I know she has the determination to do what she needs to. Yeah. Fuck that. I'm gonna show you again, Rikishi. I'm getting close. Rena looks like this. She can be a tough opponent.
今日は私も部活の規則にのっとり手加減なしでいく。
Damn right.
おお、なんだかかっこいいこと言うじゃねえの。まるで普段の自分はわざと手を抜いているって言わんばかりだぜ。
Rena smiled, or maybe you could have called it a wicked grin. She was serious. She was serious about what she said. I could tell that from her expression alone. Among all the club members, Rena is easily the most sensible one. The rule of our club is that we can do anything in order to win, but she's the only one who has moral qualms in doing it. That's why we rarely have a hard time against her, except for when she snaps. It's rare to hear her say that she won't go easy.
ちっくしょう、そんな笑い方されたら俺も超本気で行くしかねえじゃねえかよ。
いつも本気で戦うのが部活だけど、それでもやっぱりそれ以上に本気じゃないといけない時ってあるよね。今日は多分それだね。
だな。
We pounded our fists together. Damn right. Usually when we really don't want to lose the game, one asks the other to work together. But Rena didn't ask this time, which meant that she was going to try to defeat everybody by herself. No, not try. She was going to do it by herself. Do or do not, there is no try. I think that Star Wars, like the original Star Wars movies, got released by this point, right? Like, I keep forgetting. Let me actually check. Well, 4 through 6 are from 1977 to 1983, so yeah, that's actually pretty close. Although I'm not sure if they would even have them released in Japanese to begin with, so I don't know. Either way, if she was seriously going to do it, I have to be serious and do it too. My fighting spirit had been dented after many losses. We had begun to burn hot once more. Alright. Alright, well, it does seem that we're going back to the perspective of Keiichi. Sheesh, it feels like forever ago. It has been like that since chapter 3. That was the last time that we had the Keiichi's perspective, and now we're back to being Keiichi, which is nice. But also, Keiichi, my boy, come over here. Let me grab you by the shoulder right over here. Let's actually try to do something this chapter. Not try. Do. Let's do something this chapter. Got it, man? Let's not be victims yet again. Let's actually solve something right over here. Gotcha? Good.
怖いな。全員と一人で戦っても勝てるつもりでいる顔だね。
レナだってそのつもりだろう。
じゃあぶつかるのは最後だね。
I mean, unless we're gonna have like another chapter where we actually go through like one of the previous chapters but from a different perspective. Like, I don't know, chapter 1 or chapter 3. Or chapter 4, I guess? Well, in that case, for chapter 4 it would be entirely something new, but chapter 3 or 1, that would be like a different perspective. But as of now, it seems that this is a completely new timeline. We just don't know for sure yet, because even if we have this activity right over here, it could be a part of something of a timeline that we already went through, so I guess we shall see. If it's a new timeline, we might actually have like a new chance. But if it's chapter 1 or 3, well, we already know how those are gonna end up.
互いにクラス全員を全滅させたら最後にはそうなるな。
最後の戦いの時、そこにいるのがケイイチくんなのを期待してるね。
おう。
Oh god. This is gonna be foreshadowing for the end of the chapter, isn't it? That there's gonna be some conflict between Rena and Keiichi, the last survivor of the chapter, and something's gonna happen by the end of this. Ryukishi is quirky like that. We pounded our fist together again.
光線規定はちゃんと覚えてるね。 被弾時の申請だけは正直にね。
Alright.
被弾した人は撃っちゃダメだよ。仮に当てても無効ね。
ミオン、被弾の定義を再確認したいぜ。
水鉄砲で撃たれたら被弾。ひねくれたケイちゃんのためにさらに補足するなら、水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であったとき被弾とするわけ。
Okay, I was gonna say. So specifically from the water gun, it's not as if we can actually prepare like a tiny ball of water in a tiny balloon, like water balloons. There you go. That we can throw at each other like grenades. It's specifically from water gun.
つまり水鉄砲を経由した水をバケツに溜めてぶっかけても無効ってわけ。
Alright, gotcha.
直接攻撃以外は有効じゃないってことだね。さとこちゃんの脅威が少し薄らいだかな。トラップにもいろいろございましたよ。
Yeah. I guess traps are available to get us distracted / trap us into getting hit.
レナさんなんか一番最初に餌食にして差し上げましたよ。それは無理。私を仕留めようとしたらさとこちゃんじゃまだまだ役不足だね。なんですって？
ほほほ、レナが売り言葉とはね。こりゃあ面白くなりそうだよ。ねえケイちゃん、
大して面白くねえと思うぞ。俺かレナかどっちにやられたいかを選ばされるだけなんだからな。
ケイチもやる気満々なのです。
Mion seemed to sense the fighting spirit in me and Rena. I could tell that she was as serious as we are, just from the way she looks.
よっしゃ、いい面構えだよ。気に入った。じゃあ始めるよ。
Oi!
全員3回くじで決められた場所に移動してね。
Everybody had to draw lots to pick a place to start the game from. It wouldn't be funny if everybody was close together at the beginning of the game. Alright? By the way, my starting position was behind the school building. Alright. When I drew this starting position, I thought about hiding until there were only a few people left, like I did in our last game of tag. But a defensive tactic like that wasn't interesting to me anymore. I hadn't been this excited in a long time. My legs were shaking with excitement. It was my first time experiencing that kind of feeling. Alright, I could hear Mion's countdown from some distance away.
3、2、1。
Let's go! A single shot of a toy pistol echoed. With that sound, I was already running around the building. Alright, there had to be some underclassmen nearby. I'd usually assumed that somebody else would take care of them, but this time was different. They stood frozen in fear as I ran towards them, screaming at the top of my voice. They took a moment to quickly decide whether to fight or to run away. And in that moment, I shot one after another.
悪いな。俺の隣が当たった時点で運がなかったと思ってくれ。
I felt bad for them because they lost the game so quickly, so I rubbed their heads to cheer them up, and then took their water guns. Yes, that was the key factor in this game. You can't put very much water in a water gun. With 10 people around you in a gun battle, the water would be gone in a minute. I abandoned the gun I used to shoot them, held one of the guns in each hand, and scooped out the schoolyard. Just like I expected, there was an intense battle happening there. In a short time it took me to take care of the area behind the school building. It seems like most of my classmates were already shot. I wasn't surprised though. I kind of knew it happened. You need to have a high skill to fight in the open schoolyard. Especially when most of the club members were there. It must have been like a battle of elephants and ants.
なんだミオンのあれは。
Mion was holding a different water gun from the one she had when the game started. She was now holding one that looked like a huge machine gun. What? Its range capability, its pump action shooting, and the amount of water it can hold were way beyond comparison. Jesus Christ. You know, I can imagine that Mion had like all these water guns with her. She must be the source of all these water guns. Not only because she has like relatives that literally own like toy shops and all that, but she herself more than likely like imports like these guns from from other countries, and that would include like a huge amount of sets of like water guns. With that being said though, wouldn't that be fair that we've all been given like the same kind of water gun like at the beginning? Like each of us holding like the same kind of water gun? This feels kind of cheating. This feels kind of like cheating. Like I can kind of expect Mion to have had the usual gun like at the beginning, but then she quickly ran away to a hiding spot so that she can dig up like this machine gun, like water machine gun that she has right now. God damn it. There were no restrictions on what kind of water guns we could use today. As long as it's a water gun, we were allowed to use any kind. Okay, well, I guess so. But still, where did she get that? Most of us have a normal pistol style water gun from a local toy store or something similar. I would have bought a bigger one like Mion's if they had one, but they weren't in stock, and I had to order it in. In other words, Mion ordered hers a long time ago, just for today. She's always all prepared when it comes to winning. She must have thought that we wouldn't allow her to use the big water gun if she showed it off before the game started. So she must have hidden it somewhere. Exactly, that's what I was thinking. It looks like most of our classmates were shot right after the game started. Only a few were still alive, trying to survive as long as they could by using the heavy construction equipment as a shield. I wonder how Rika and Satoko are doing right now. Mion mercilessly shot at them from various angles to make them come out from behind the shield.
そらそんなとこに隠れてないで出てきな。
Tomita-kun and Okumura-kun were trying their best to resist her attack from behind their shield. It looked like they had no chance against her, but that actually wasn't true. After all, the two of them were only still alive, because of all their experience in water gun battles. They survived the first few minutes of her assault, even though 99% of their classmates didn't, and they were still surviving at the very moment. Alright, well, time for a team up, Keiichi. Let's see if we can team up with Okamura and Tomita, and see if we can pull up some strategy here, since they seem to be pretty good at this. Mion, however, is also a battle-hardened soldier. She used the advantage of her big water tank, and gradually but certainly drove them into a corner. It was only a matter of time until she broke them down.
ダメだ。あのマシンガンはずるいよ。
Man, I can imagine myself like with a revolver, water gun and such, shooting high pressure bullets from my revolver water gun.
委員長の水が少なくなるまでなんとかしのごう。今は手も足も出ないよ。
They tried to hold out against her, but all they could do for now was to keep running behind cover as Mion strafed closer and closer to them. They wanted to use their 2 against 1 advantage, but it seemed like they wouldn't even get that chance. If they tried attacking recklessly, one of them might get shot, and then the other would have no chance of winning. So they grew more cautious, placing their bets on their final chance. But that caused their offense to wane. Whoa! Of course, Mion saw through their plan. What is this, like a fighting game style kind of effect there? Like that would happen when one of the players activates their ultimate. She was purposely provoking them so that they would lose their patience and start attacking her recklessly. Mion circled around the construction equipment, and now she was standing with her back towards me. If I went up against her machine gun fair and square, I wouldn't stand a chance. So attacking from behind would be the only way for me to defeat her. That is true. Even though she was in the defensive position, there was some distance between us. Although she more than likely is aware of that kind of positioning. I was still too far away. But it would still be better to attack her now than to take her head on. Don't hesitate, Keiichi Maebara. You won't have this chance again. I stepped out from my hiding place and ran as fast as I could towards her with 2 water guns in my hands. Instead of approaching slowly and silently, I screamed at the top of my lungs. That's right. Scream. Scream from the bottom of your soul, Keiichi, like you always do. You screamer. Mion seemed a little shocked by my surprise attack, but she immediately pulled herself together. She knew the advantages of her weapon. I won't be surprised if Rena is eventually gonna come and like attack Mion in a surprise move, like maybe after Keiichi gets hit. But she didn't shoot me just yet. I am curious about Rena and Satoko, like where are they? Did they already get defeated? She held back, luring me closer. Mion was well aware of how much water she had left. If she had the same kind of water gun as me, we would have had the same range capability. So it would have been down to our technique to decide the winner. If she was fighting against one of her underclassmen, she could have defeated him easily. Mion immediately calculated her chance of winning against me and figured out that her only chance was to use the advantage of her water gun. She saw the eye of the tiger in me and already calculated her chances of winning in a split second. Really, I can admire how fast she does those things. I ran at the top speed to shorten the distance between us. Our strength should have been equal. I had 2 water guns in with full tanks, and she had a machine gun with half-empty tank. We both waited for the perfect moment.
今日のケイちゃんの気迫には敬意を表するよ。今日のあんたには正面からぶつかり合って互角以上の勝率を弾き出せる自信がない。
残念だぜミオン。勝率の弾き方も鈍ったな。今日の俺に正面からぶつかり合ったら互角どころじゃない。てめえの負けだ。
The moment we stepped within range, Mion and I pulled out triggers at the same time. Mion set her sight squarely on me while I was trying to shoot and run at the same time. Her shot would obviously be more accurate than mine. My shot of water flew towards nowhere. Mion didn't even need to duck. But Mion's shot made a beautiful arc straight towards my chest. I could see the line of water coming straight at me, but I was too unstable to dodge. Mion had no doubt that she got me.
気合だけではどうにもならない現実がこれだったね。やっぱりケイちゃんは最初に脱落だ。
やっぱり残念だぜミオン。今日のミオンのコンピュータは一手読みが足りないぜ。
コンピューターは
ほざくな。その体勢からかわす術はない。水の弾丸で撃ち抜かれろ。そしてどうして私の背後を沈黙して奪わず叫びながら襲う具を犯したかを呪うがいいよ。
You're really disappointing me today, Mion. You could have figured it out if you'd spent just one more second to think. You could have figured out the reason why I didn't creep up on you, but screamed as loud as I could instead. Mion noticed my surprise attack and turned around to face me. In other words, she turned her back on the opponents she was fighting earlier. That is true. Those opponents heard my scream and saw that she had turned her back on them.
なんだって？
Mion noticed her back was wet and cold. She finally understood that the underclassmen she was attacking just earlier had shown their fangs and attacked her from behind. I mean, kind of a no-brainer to be quite honest. I blocked her water shot with my arm. Right before it hit my chest, the line of water was broken into droplets and splattered away.
そうだったか。被弾者の攻撃は被弾しても無効だ。
そいつに気づくのだいぶ遅かったぜ。伏せろ、ミオン。
Mion swatted down and covered her head. Oh, it was me versus Tomitaku and Nokumaru-kun. Oh, fuck. Their reflexes weren't so bad. They knew well that I'd be their next target after Mion was gone. Okay, well. Now I'm gonna have to question what is Rena's move gonna be next, now that Mion is down. I was thinking that she's gonna be the surprising factor in this, but no. Rena is gonna be the winner of this, isn't she? They didn't feel sorry at all for attacking me right after I just saved them from their predicament. I can respect the cruelty and how quickly they shifted gears. They may one day be able to join our club if they keep refining their sense and skill.
次は前原さんだ。このまま撃ち殺すんだ。こっちは2人だもんね。負けるわけがない。
They were, however, one step behind me. It was already too late. For them, Mion was their first target, and I was next. But I was different. My first target was them from the start. I didn't even see Mion as my target to begin with, because I knew they'd take care of her. I was pointing my guns at them long before they moved their sights from Mion to me. It's not like they noticed at the last moment that both of my guns had been pointing at them from the beginning. Which meant it was already too late for them. I jumped over Mion, rolled on the ground, and landed on my feet. I looked as elegant as an athlete who had just finished a perfect performance. I had a gun in each of my hands. And with those guns, I shot them each in the middle of their chest. Bang bang!
早すぎる。僕たちが2人がかりで負けるなんて。
Alright. Tomitaku and Nokumaru-kun fell to their knees in disappointment.
ケイちゃんがこれだけのことをやってのけるなんて、私も鈍ったってことかな。
Mion wiped the dirt off her knees, looking frustrated.
別にミオンは鈍っちゃいなかったろ。
じゃあなんでおじさんが負けたわけよ。
そんなの決まってるじゃねえか。
I twirled my guns on the tip of my fingers.
たまには勝たねえと格好がつかねえからだよ。
There were only a few people left alive. Rena, Satoko, and myself. Oh. Actually, Rena and Satoko were fighting fiercely. Were they evenly matched? No. Satoko was pushing her hard. Moving fast, she was driving Rena into a corner. Rena was usually gentle and slow, but today she was different. She was very serious today, and yet, Satoko was still overwhelming her. She's a tough customer even without her tricky traps.
最初の異性はどこへ行ってしまいましたのかしら?
That or maybe Keiichi doesn't know that Rika is still out there somewhere. He's thinking that she lost, but she might be hiding somewhere.
いい動きをするね。私も負けられないよ。
Satoko kept moving around, piling on pressure in order to pin Rena down. She kept shooting, so her tank must have almost been empty, but her shots were still sharp and fast. I noticed a bucket near her feet, which was full of mini water guns. I understood, seeing that she had been taking guns from others who were already out of the game. In this battle, reloading bullets, water, was more crucial than the actual shooting. The hole that you put water into on these guns is rather small. To put water through it from a faucet takes time and requires a certain amount of skill. In a battle like this, it would almost be suicidal. I understood that well, so I'd be taking guns from the people I defeated. but I could only hold one in each hand. Satoko used a bucket to overcome the limit. Rena looked like she had only one water gun. I'd assume she had two, but she must have used a lot of water during her long battle with Satoko. It looked like she was trying to save her water for the right moment. But with Satoko's fierce attacks, it was obvious that it was only a matter of time before Rena was driven into a corner. However, Rena is also quite skilled. She only pretended to be driven into a corner, but she was actually luring Satoko to a place where she'd have the advantage. There was a narrow, twisting path near the gymnasium warehouse behind the school building. With Rena's water levels running low, she wanted to turn things around with a single close-range shot. That narrow path was a perfect place for her to do that.
あれあれ、攻撃の手が鈍ってきたね。疲れてきた？お気遣いは嬉しいですけど、まだまだでしてよ。それよりそちらのお水は大丈夫ですの？さっきから全然打ち返してきませんわよ。ひょっとしてもう玉切れじゃございませんの？そうだと思うならお顔を出してみたらどう？遠慮いたしましてよ。最後の一発を温存しているのは分かっていますわ。一発あれば十分だよ。体操服を濡らした気の毒だからね。額を打ってあげるね。まさかレナさんとこんなにもスリリングなやりとりができるなんて思いませんでしたわ。でも最後の一発分の水量では大して勢いもないでしょうから、射程もほとんどないんじゃありません？
Satoko was right about that. Rena had just enough water to make one last shot. As the amount of water left in the tank dwindles, the range of shots you can make shortens. That makes the last shot the shortest and weakest of them all. Regardless of her absolutely disadvantageous situation, Rena didn't look frustrated. I could tell she had no intention to lose. It was almost like she didn't even see Satoko as a threat.
うまい位置に逃げ込みましたわね。私もさすがに慎重にならざるを得ませんわ。
Satoko seemed to understand how dangerous Rena's last shot was going to be, better than I did, since she was the one actually fighting against her.
私、将棋はあまりやらないんですけれど、こういうのを詰め将棋って言うんでございましょうね。
Satoko took out another gun with a full tank and shortened the distance between them slowly and carefully. A gun with a full tank doesn't only have a long range. It also has enough power to make shots more accurate. If they shot at each other in a frontal attack, Satoko would have a 99% chance to win. It's almost a certainty. Even so, Satoko was still afraid of Rena's last shot. Satoko shortened the distance even further, smiling as if not afraid. But I could tell she was actually full of fear. Satoko compared the situation to chess earlier, but it wasn't exactly the same. In chess, you can use some pieces to drive the opponent's king into a corner. But in this case, there were only Rena and Satoko. You can lose some of your pieces in order to achieve a win, but Satoko doesn't have any pieces other than herself. A king can't drive the other king into a corner alone. That's called a stalemate. That's why while at first glance, it looks like Satoko has the absolute advantage. They're actually on equal footing.
さあ参りますわよ。このままチャイムを待つなんて私たちらしくありませんわ。そうだね。勝負しよう。
That's strange, I thought. Rena wouldn't have to move just on a dare from Satoko. What kind of plan did she have? Rena had been hiding behind cover for a while, but she came out without hesitation. Oh, I noticed something right away. Rena had a different gun. Satoko seemed to notice it as well.
ここには弾切れになったら逃げ込もうと考えててね。あらかじめ一丁拾って隠してあったの。
Oh! Damn! She's good. In using a trap at the last moment for a come-from-behind victory, it was as though she was taking Satoko's best skill from her and firing it right back! Satoko no longer had any advantages now that both of them were pointing their guns at each other with full tanks. But she still looked confident. What was going on? Did she have some kind of plan too? Maybe that secret plan is Rika?
その一丁は私にとっても大切な一丁でしたのよ。どうしてかな。だってその一丁がなかったらレナさんはさっきの銃のまま一撃逆転を狙い続けて、こうして私の前に姿を現したりしませんもの。
At that moment, lightning ran through my brain and I instantly understood the situation. Of course! Rena was in a disadvantageous situation earlier, but it was actually the same for Satoko, since she didn't have a chance to make her shot while Rena was not hiding. Rena had to remain cautious in order to hit her with her last shot, and that made it difficult for Satoko to attack her. However, what if Rena didn't need to take the last shot for a come-from-behind victory? No, I said it wrong. What if Rena got a new gun with a full tank? She'd stop hiding and come out to fight against Satoko.
つまりレナさんがここを目指しながら逃げてその銃を拾うことは最初から読んでいましたってことですのよ。
Let Satoko talk crap, Rena. You don't have to listen to her. Just shoot her right now! Rena thought the same thing. She shot at Satoko without hesitation. But she frowned in confusion a moment after. Oh no! What happened? What was going on? She couldn't shoot. Was the water tank emptied by Satoko? Was her water gun broken? Or did somebody break it?
水鉄砲なんてちょっと砂粒を入れて空打ちすればすぐに詰まっちゃうんですのよ。
Oh no!
私が切り札をここに一丁持ってることを先に読んで細工したってわけだね。私いつも言ってましたよ。トラップは最後の最後でほんの一つささやかに。これが究極の美徳でございましたよ。
When it comes to traps, Satoko remained a notch above Rena after all. I couldn't believe Satoko figured out Rena's plan in advance and set a trap to counter it. Rena, you made a big mistake. You should have kept the old gun with you. You could have at least made that last shot. But it's too late now for you to pick it up again. Rena was in a worse situation than she was before. She could even take another shot.
さて観念なさいませ。さっきレナさんは私の額を打つとか言われましたわね。私が逆に額を打って差し上げましたよ。
Satoko slowly narrowed her distance again and pointed the muzzle at Rena's forehead. Rena still didn't look like she'd given up. She still thought the game was undecided.
さとこちゃんもまだまだ甘いね。なんですって？トラップで相手を仕留めたならね、さとこちゃんが余裕を見せるのは勝者の権利だと思う。だけどね、今のさとこちゃんは私を絡め取っただけで仕留めたわけじゃない。余裕を見せるのはまだまだ早い段階だとは思わない？何を言い出すかと思えば、今から仕留めるから同じことですわ。私が逆の立場なら脳書きなんか言わずにさっさと撃つ。じゃないと負けるから。負ける？誰が？あら、その壊れた水鉄砲でどうやって戦うおつもりで？被弾の定義覚えてる？水鉄砲というこの容器から出た水が最初に触れたものが標的であったとき、被弾とする。は？それが一体何だって言うんですの？
When I heard her saying that, I started running. My target was Rena. Satoko was already dead to me. Why? She was going to be shot by Rena within a second.
レナさんが何を言ってるのか私さっぱりでしたよ。その壊れた水鉄砲で何ができるおつもりだか。水鉄砲の中に水があれば戦えるんだよ。わかんないかな？
When I raised her broken water gun up high and smashed its handle on the wall of the school building as hard as she could, the plastic broke easily and water flowed out of it.
水鉄砲から出た水が当たればいいんだよ。
Oh!
水鉄砲のどこから出たかは 問題にしてない。
Rena was right. She just saved herself by thinking it through. She was using a real gun. Bullets would only come out from one end of the gun. But this was a water gun. She could easily make her bullets, water in this case, come out from any place, not just the barrel of the gun. Oh! Satoko finally realized that she was standing defenselessly in front of Rena. Satoko's trap was successful, but she overestimated its effect. She should have just shot Rena without hesitation before Rena noticed her new water gun was jammed. It was going to fail because she had grown overconfident of her victory. A second before Satoko pulled the trigger, Rena swung her water gun as if slashing Satoko with a sword. Satoko fired her bullets, but it was too late. A second before Rena would be shot, a blade of water hit Satoko in the face. No, not hit. It cut her face up.
まだまだ爪が甘かったね。この私が。
Rena ran towards Satoko, who was standing still in shock, and took her water gun. Rena knew I was her last target, and that I was running towards her. Rena, using her superior mobility, began to duck and weave. Bang bang! We were evenly matched. Neither of us neglected to make any effort possible to take advantage of the situation.
最後には一騎打ちになると思ってたよ。やっぱりこうでなくっちゃね。
見直したぜ。とんでもない根性を見せてくれるじゃないか。
見直したより惚れ直したの方が嬉しいかな。
Oh.
負けてくれたらそれでもいいぜ。
ごめんだね。
We struck around the construction equipment, trying to take shots at each other. We were both sweating like crazy. But I didn't feel tired. Big drops of sweat tickled as they ran down my body. Bang, bang, bang! Rapid bursts of water flew across both of our paths. Neither of us had the advantage or the disadvantage. I didn't feel elated that I might win or frustrated that I might lose. I was just enjoying this battle with Rena. It was like a dance that I couldn't dance alone. A dance that I could only dance with an opponent.
本気のレナはやっぱり冴えるね。見てるだけで震えがくるよ。
そのレナさんと互角に渡り合うなんてケイチさんもやりますわね。どちらが勝つか全然予想がつきませんです。
Ah, there you are, Ariakey. In fact, none of the observers could tell who was going to win. Neither could we. We had no idea who was going to win. Wait a minute. Okay, unless I'm forgetting something, and maybe Ariakey was not gonna participate, or she already lost, that or she's pretending that she lost before. When in actuality, like, after, like, either Keiichi or Rena comes victorious out of this battle, Ariakey can just walk, like, slowly towards the, like, supposed winner, and she could just shoot the winner, like, the supposed winner. And then Rika is gonna become the winner. She pretends that she lost. that would be quite funny. I didn't know why, but it was great fun just to fight against Rena. And I didn't even care whether I won or lost. In fact, I even wanted it to end. As we fired at each other, both of our tanks emptied, shortening our range. Inevitably, it became more and more like a melee than a gunplay. We fired our water guns as if trying to cut each other with blades of water, swinging the gun like a sword. We both came up with the idea to swing the gun hard to generate centrifugal force, in order to increase the range of our attacks. I dived to duck her shot. I rolled on the ground and landed on my feet. I ducked her shot again, and swung my gun like a sword. Who could have imagined that our club's water gun battle would turn into a one-on-one close combat like this? Absolutely nobody!
ああ、やっぱりレナもそう思うか。
一君もそう思うんだ。
We're both breathing hard, calculated the timing needed to take a closer step. And then we both grinned wickedly at each other.
やり合うのが楽しくてならねえぜ。決着がつくことすら興ざめするくらいにな。
負けても恨まないでね。
ああ、恨まない。この勝負を終わらせた自分の不甲斐なさを恨んでやるぜ。だがそいつを恨むのはどうやらレナの方になりそうだな。
どうかな、圭一君、足がわらだよ。
くそったれー。あれー。
すごい。なんだかものすごくかっこいい。前原さん頑張れー。龍河さんしっかりー。
I became relaxed enough to enjoy the battle. I finally realized that many of our classmates were watching our one-on-one fight. I barely had any water left. I would have to make the next shot count, or I was done for. It seemed like Rena was in the same situation too.
泣いても笑っても次で終わりだな。水が有限なのが惜しいぜ。
限りがあるから美しい。花も一緒だよ。
なるほどな。そういう見方もあるか。
本当に楽しかった。でもこれで終わりだね。
だな。無粋かもしれんが勝って決着させてもらうぜ。
上等だよ圭一君。
負けて泣くなよ。
勝負。
乗ったー。うわ
どっちが勝ったんですの？
The cries of the cicadas echoed in the quiet schoolyard. They sounded like the hand of a watch ticking away the seconds. Neither one of us moved. We took our final shots and now stood motionless. It looked like one of those duels in Western movies.
どっちが先に？
Who? Who?
わかんない。全然見えなかった。
Our classmates broke their silence first. They finally realized that our intensely beautiful one-on-one battle was over.
委員長、判定は？
Mion, in turn, realized that she had to deliver a verdict to end the game. But she was just as stunned as the others and took her a moment to recover. Mion was taking time to render her verdict. In fact, Ren and I didn't know who won either. My last shot flew fast and splashed sideways, as if a blade had cut her chest. I knew that for sure, but at the same moment, when a shot hit me in the shoulder. Whoever shot the other first wins. But we didn't know if it was me or her. A draw? That's why we stood motionless, waiting for the verdict to be delivered.
リカには見えまして？僕にだってわかるわけないのです。
委員長、どっちの勝ちなの？
Everybody held their breath, waiting for Mion to call it. Ren and I kept staring at each other. The spectators were the only ones who were interested in who the winner was. To us, it wasn't that important. We had a great battle. We both really wanted to do better than the other. We both wanted to call it a tie. For this great battle, settling it for a tie would be the best and most proper option. In other words, this one-on-one fight wasn't a battle to decide the winner. It's like everybody is thinking the same way.
ミー？判定が出ないと二人とも動けませんです。
あ、うん。
Mion hates to settle for a tie because she loves to draw a line between superiors and inferiors. She tends to settle for a tie when deciding who is the loser, because it's more fun to have as many people as possible suffer the punishment. Well, she's never settled for a tie between winners before. Mion holds a special feeling towards the meaning of being number one. Everybody continue holding their breath, awaiting her verdict. Please make it a tie. Everybody wished for that in their hearts. Mion was hesitating to make the decision. She could have chosen the winner more easily if one of us did even a little bit better than the other. But even if one of us did a little better than the other, I feel like nothing fits better than settling for a tie.
今日の二人は見事だったよ。
Mion finally started speaking.
ケイちゃんもレナもここしばらくの連敗に発奮し、最高の力を発揮してくれた。その瞬発力は評価の工程の段階を超えて、もはや美しいと呼べるまでに昇華されてたよ。私は二人の最高の戦いぶりに評価を惜しめない。
じゃあ決着はどうなるんですの？
快速の精神から1位を二人に認定するのは好ましくない。でも二人にはわずかの優劣もなく、どちらを膠着させるかの判断もとてもつかない。よって本日の戦いを預かり勝負とし、後日改めて決着をつけることといたしたい。
Hey! I expected she might settle for a tie, but I never thought she'd make us have another battle.
灰原さん、すごかったですよ。
Congrats, both of you. I mean, I was half expecting what I said before, that one of them would come on top, and then they get hit by Rika in a surprise, and then Rika would be the winner. But, it's fine.
かっこよすぎます。竜宮さんにもしびれました。なんかこう、まあ見てるこっちまで熱くなるというか。
The classmates rushed towards us and praised us for showing them something that cool. Rena and I were finally released from the tension of battle and dropped to our knees.
残念。決着をつけ損なったね。
まあな、次の機会を楽しみにしようぜ。
肩を貸してほしいな。
先に言うな。俺が借りようと思ったのに。
We both smiled at each other. It was the first time we ever hit it off like this.
それはそうと。
うまいことやったよな。
うまいことって何がですの？みーちゃん、うまいこと言って今日の罰ゲームうやむやにする気だ。
Oh?
ギク。
かっこつけときながら、保身第一ってあたりがミオンっぽい。逃げたぞ。図星かよ。わかりやすいやつだな。
The bell rang, a sign that class was over, while we all laughed at Neon. After that,
二人ともお疲れ様なのです。タオルをどうぞなのです。
Rika-chan held out a towel, a big smile on her face. However, Rena and I stepped back and pointed our water guns at her.
みー、もうみんなにいっぱいいっぱい撃たれましたのです。もう撃たれてると言っても誰も信じてくれないのですよ。
Rika-chan was soaking wet. Well, nobody believed her because she really could be that sneaky, pretending that she was hit in order to stay in the game. Oh my god. So I was right in thinking that.
普段が普段でございますものね。信じろというのが難しい相談でございましてよ。みんながいじめるのです。僕はもう一人ぼっちなのです。段ボール箱の中でミーミー泣いて、誰も拾ってくれないかわいそうな猫さんなのですよ。みー。
Boom! The song came from Rena's head. I saw a circle of smoke coming out of it. Rena must have pictured Rika-chan meowing like a cat in a cardboard box.
リカちゃん捨ててあるよ、捨ててある。レナが拾うよ。お持ち帰り。
Oh, ouch. Me. Boom. Rena, you're ruining how cool we looked earlier. Rena was back to her normal self and jumped on Rika-chan like a chameleon capturing its prey. Rika-chan struggles to get away.
はーい、皆さん。早く教室に戻りなさい。
Chie-sensei clapped her hands and yelled at us from the window of the teacher's office.
行こうぜみんな。
Everyone exchanged smiles and ran back to the classroom. Alright. Let's see. This tip right over here. I wonder what kind of tips we're gonna get in this one. One reason I like my house is because it has good ventilation. As long as there's a nice breeze, I don't have to rely on a fan to keep me cool. I can take down my futon from the windowsill, place my cushion near the open window, and enjoy the cool breeze of the evening. According to my page-a-day calendar, it's June 1983 today. While it was still June, it seemed like summer skipped the rainy season and was already coming around the corner. This was very abnormal, apparently. Even if it was abnormal weather that only comes around once in 100 years. It was supposed to come in June of 1983. It wasn't so much of a big deal. It was inevitable. On the other hand, the sudden evening shower on the way home from school was more unpredictable than anything else. Every day had been in perfect harmony, as if it was all carefully planned. I felt like something good was going to happen this year. How should I put it? It's like the feeling I get when I roll a 6 on the first row of a board game and start off with a huge lead. When it comes to a die, the more you roll it, the more the total averages out. We actually roll a die many times every day of our lives. So it's not like one stroke of luck is really a big deal to be overly happy with. If I roll a 6 on my first row and a 1 on the next row, the total is 7. If you believe in fate, you might say there's a higher possibility of a 1 to come up on the die. But you can never actually tell what number you will roll. And that's what fate is all about. You might roll a 6 again. The chance of rolling a 6 twice in a row is 1 out of 36. But if you look at each row one by one, there's only a 1/6 chance of that miracle. The glass wind chime Satoko put up yesterday was making a refreshing sound.